And a good Monday morning to you. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com. They represent 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, as well as 802 Honda, all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. You're looking at Snow Mountain. That's overnight last night and into the morning hours. And we've seen improvement. It's coming gradual. There's still a few flurries up near the mountain summits of the northern greens. Looking at the big picture synoptically, you can see that we have kind of a zonal flow, but currently an area of higher pressure associated with a cold dome of colder weather that kind of broke off from some Arctic chill that's moved across Canada. This is now setting up shop. It'll be here for about 24 hours. On the other side of this system, a couple different jet streams will get together, two different branches, and it'll force an area of low pressure to move across the region and bring us snow. We're looking at about 1 to 4 inches total snowfall, a little bit of glazing, but mostly just a travel issue down in the southern parts, southern four counties of Vermont, especially toward the Massachusetts line, and then a little bit also southeasterly wind gusts along the western slopes of the northern and central Green Mountains. These look to be relatively minuscule, somewhere in that sort of 35, 45 mile an hour range, and that'll happen in the afternoon on Tuesday. Looking at the big picture across the country right now synoptically, so we have an area of higher pressure that's building in. It's kicking out the flurry action near the mountains, and that area of higher pressure is centered just about right overhead. That's going to happen this evening. And then note our compact weather system, a little bit of an increased pressure gradient with a bit of a southerly flow through the Champlain Valley. Stays under thresholds, however. We have snow here, of course, rain-snow line here with rain down below. So as this pushes on through, you can kind of see we get into some snow. It might even be falling moderate at times, and little hints there of some mixed precipitation across the southern counties of Vermont. That'll take place later in the afternoon as it looks right now, and into the early evening before things get whisked on out. We may even end as a little bit of rain showers or sprinkles. It doesn't look like much, but that's the nature of the beast, as temperatures will climb and actually max out Tuesday night into the mid-30s, maybe even a few upper 30s around the region. Now, the other side of that is some colder air will advect in on a bit of an Arctic front. You can see it here, kind of laid out. And with that will come a little bit of snow shower activity off and on during the day on Wednesday. That'll last into, at times into Thursday with some lake effect snows, some minor plumes there, and pretty minuscule stuff. And then finally, it looks like on Thursday night, high pressure builds in. This 1045 hectopascal area of higher pressure here, another center there, and a 1032 hectopascal area of higher pressure. So as we go through time here, this is going to bring us a decent Friday as well as Saturday and Sunday. Starts out with some cold temperatures going below 0 degrees. It looks like some 0 to 10 minus side on Friday night as well as, or Friday morning I should say, as well as Saturday morning. So we're talking Thursday night as well as Friday night. And then going beyond that, this is currently Saturday. The area of higher pressure is still kind of ridging across the region, where we probably start to get into a little bit more cloudiness by the time we get into Sunday. But it does look like 3 days of dry weather. And then we have this weather system working across the region here. It's mostly to the south, but that's pretty far out. We'll have to wait and see how that kind of works out. Okay, looking at the GFS ensemble, you can see that 3-hourly QPF, and here's our main storm system that's going to happen during the day Tuesday. It lingers into Tuesday evening, and then probably some secondary little flurries, some lake effect business as I just showed you with the European model. And it looks like it's not till way out there on the 24th that we start to see the next weather maker work in. That's a long ways out. That'll be about a week out or beyond, around Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. This is total QPF centered on Montpelier, Vermont. You can see roughly we're talking basically around 0.3 of an inch. Latest model guidance is this blue line. It only brings us about 0.25 of an inch. So we're not looking at very much snow, about 1 to locally 4 inches, with the most of that probably a little further into central and southern parts of Vermont, where there's a little higher moisture values, but this is not going to be a big deal. The other thing is the precipitation type. Now, even in Montpelier, according to the GFS ensemble, the precipitation type is mostly snow, but you do see a little bit of rain and some freezing rain indicated toward the tail end. That would happen during the evening hours on Tuesday, very briefly, and the rest of it looks to be snow. So we're not looking at anything major there. In terms of total snowfall, we're talking about 2 to 3 inches. And again, here's the most recent model run, which is kind of cutting it back just a little bit. So the trends are definitely lowering, and I'm hopeful that this will stay below any kind of thresholds that could cause any kind of issues with wet snow loading in our southern counties. This is a Weather Prediction Center's 7-day total QPF, so we're talking only 2,500s to about half an inch. That bodes well to escape any kind of issues here locally across our neck of the woods with limited amounts of precipitation. Hydrologic values, it looks like we're going to be below normal for this period as well. Looking at the current temperature scenario here across the northern hemisphere, what we can see here is major warming goes all the way from basically the UK back into a good portion of Asia. It's only very extreme eastern Siberia that has the cold air, and occasionally that drops through Alaska. Here's another little bout that's breaking off that'll probably be generated, and this will be what we're going to see late in the week. We're talking Thursday into Friday into Saturday for a little bit below zero normal temperatures. And here's a quick look at 2-meter temperatures. So our warmer temperatures will actually occur during the evening on Tuesday evening when we max out. And then we're looking at that colder dip in temperature for later in the week. And then it looks like a slow rise beyond this period once we get into several days down the road. Weighted temperatures over the next 5 days. This is meteorological output statistics mean for the high temperatures only, running about 3 degrees below normal. It's neutral to the south of us, colder than normal across a wide area of most of the U.S., slightly warmer across the west coast. About 3 days later, we'll see this how this develops. You can see a little bit of a warm-up taking place with a Chinook wind probably and some warming in Canada. Colder than normal temperatures have drifted all the way down into the south, and we're basically neutral or so here across Vermont for the next 3 to 7 days of high temperatures. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.